How is Rahu in the fourth house? One has to understand that Rahu in fourth house is a position that occurs in many horoscopes. So before I get on to the details of Rahu in the fourth house, let it be very clear that these are general observations, because there are many things that are related or that impact before we conclude with what exactly happens when Rahu is in the fourth house. But certain general observations are there which are common, which are generic, and which I am going to share with all of you. Understand that Rahu is the nature of clinging. The more powerful Rahu is in your horoscope, the more you have the nature of clinging. The more you are attached. And Buddha says the root of suffering is attachment. When Rahu is in the fourth house, the nature of clinging is too much. Such a person is a mommy's boy or a mommy's girl. It is okay to be a mommy's boy or a mommy's girl, but when Rahu is placed in the fourth, the person is too much obsessed with his or her mother. A man with a fourth house Rahu is a great challenge for the wife. A woman with a fourth house Rahu is a headache for the husband. Why? Because such a man or woman with fourth house Rahu are so much obsessed with their mother that they simply cannot tolerate anything said against their mother. And then the friction, the fight between the husband and wife is natural. And the most interesting part is this, that the mother remains unmoved. She likes the fact that her son is not paying any attention to his wife but to her. It is a strange phenomenon that the mother is also like the child, meaning she is also obsessive of her son or daughter. Very obsessive. And so then the wife or the husband simply suffer at the hands of such a person who has a Rahu in the fourth house. Rahu in the fourth house brings lustful tendencies. Such men are in the tight grip of lust, and so it becomes very easy for an attractive woman to trap them and exploit them, and then begins their story of many miseries and agonies. It is a placement that can lead the person to a second marriage or to an extramarital affair. And the end of the story is very clear. It ends always in miseries. The other woman brings lots of miseries to such a man's life. Fourth house is the house of happiness, material happiness. Interestingly, Rahu in fourth house, men and women are so much fired up to seek happiness in their life. They want more and more happiness, but in reality, they never are found to be happy, because the want more tendency instilled in them never brings any satisfaction, never lets them feel satisfied. They always remain unsatisfied. Fourth house Rahu is also an indication that there may be a situation where the house is haunted, or whether there are certain supernatural beings in that house where this native stays. Fourth house Rahu also brings too many distractions in life. The person is so much haunted with illusions and fantasies that his or her meeting with the reality of the life never happens. Fourth house Rahu is equivalent to Rahu Moon conjunction. Understand the fact that Rahu in fourth house is similar to Rahu in Cancer, because Cancer is the fourth sign, and in the Kala Purush Kundali the fourth house falls the Cancer sign. So fourth house Rahu is equivalent to Rahu in Cancer, is equivalent to Rahu Moon conjunction. And guess what? If Rahu Moon is placed in the fourth house, then you have got a total Rahuish man or woman who does well in the field of media, in the field of newspaper, in the field of film line, the modeling, the politics. Because this Rahu makes you extrovert. When the whole attention is on the outside, it becomes an asset for those individuals who want to make a career in these lines, such as media, newspaper, or any line or any field that is related to the nature of being extrovert. Rahu is a good politician. You all remember how Rahu took appearance of the Devatas and drank the immortal nectar. The quality to appear what in reality he or she is not is good when the Rahu is in the fourth house. I have seen many men who have become victims at the hands of women who initially appeared to be very good, very sweet, but as the relationship moved forward, slowly they started feeling the heat. They started realizing the real face of that woman, but then it was too late. They were already trapped in her tight clutches. So Rahu in fourth house gives a perfect mask, and you are never able to understand, you are never able to gauge what the person truly is. Fourth house is directly connected with your emotions. And so here when Rahu is in the fourth house, the man or the woman is too emotional by nature. And they are too much attached emotionally with their mother, with their home, with their properties, and emotional person is always ruled by the mind. And so often these people drag themselves into emotional situations that in turn makes them feel more tensed, more disturbed. Generally, people make a lot of noise when they find a woman or a man with Mars in the fourth house. They instantly label them as Mangalik, but I would say that is less damaging than a man or woman who has a Rahu in the fourth house. How well are you doing in your marriage? Understand the fact that the fourth house is 10th from the 7th house of marriage. So just the way you see your career growth and your overall progress in your profession, your happiness in your professional career from the 10th house of your chart. Similarly, the growth in your marital relations and your overall happiness in marriage is seen from the fourth house of your chart. Now, a man or woman who has a Rahu in the fourth house is desirous of having plenty of happiness from marriage. But in reality, they never are happy in their marriages. Because in the 10th house from the 7th house sits Rahu. And if by any chance the 7th house lord is placed in the 6th or 8th or 12th house along with Rahu in the 4th house, or if there is Mars or Saturn in the 7th house with Rahu in the 4th house, then marriage goes for a toss. Always remember, Rahu 4 wants more and more happiness from marriage life. Rahu 7 wants more and more sexual pleasures from the marriage partner. Understand the difference. Remember the difference. Whenever Rahu is placed in the first house, in the fourth house, in the 7th house or 10th house, you must know that you are dealing with an utterly Rahuish person. Rahu in the 7th house person is hungry for sexual union, sexual pleasures. Rahu moon in the 7th house person attracts attention from the opposite sex. No matter what they do, the opposite sex is always attracted towards them. A woman with a Rahu moon in the 7th house often ends up with multiple sexual unions, and so does a man with a Rahu moon in the 7th house. Rahu moon in the 4th house is an emotionally full person. He is loud, he is impulsive by nature, and is prone to getting angry on even small matters. If you ask me, then Rahu in 4th house is actually a curse. This curse targets the person's material happiness. It also creates issues during the last stage of his or her life. Such a person generally dies accidentally in a sudden manner. Many men and women who die because of heart attack have Rahu in the 4th house, or Rahu moon in the 4th house, or Mars with Rahu in the 4th house. But the most unholiest, the most dirty conjunction is Rahu Shani in the 4th house. Such a person's mother and siblings are not of good character. Unless there is any positive aspect to this conjunction, the native remains a puppet in the hands of his or her mother or siblings, and basically the whole balance of life, that is the horoscope, is disturbed when Rahu Shani is placed in the 4th house. Out of all the conjunctions that happen with Rahu, Rahu Shani is the only conjunction that I personally don't like. The only conjunction that is the most unholy of all. Always remember this. Nobody is going to tell you this, but this is the hard truth that I am sharing with you all. Rahu Mercury, Rahu Moon, Rahu Sun, Rahu with Mars, Rahu with Shani, these all conjunctions are simply a sign that something has not gone well in the past life. and the person has committed some of the most unholy karma, some of the most sinful acts in his or her past life. The only better or somewhat safe conjunction with Rahu is a Rahu-Venus conjunction, that too if other planets, the other Maharathis who have an upper hand in the horoscope, if they are positive. Ketu in the 4th house simply denies happiness from marriage or mother, and Rahu in the 4th house simply makes you too much obsessive towards wanting more and more happiness in life. One has to understand that why the desire like this comes at first place. Why Rahu comes in the 4th house? In the past life, you never had any happiness from marriage. So this life you have arrived to seek, to want, to desire happiness from marriage, from mother, from properties, from luxuries, from comforts. That is fine. But the larger question is whether you have the necessary karma balance, the necessary punya, good deeds of the past life with you to fulfill your desire. If you have, then you will gain happiness from marriage, from mother. But the bottom line is that in spite of getting happiness, you remain unhappy, because Rahu in the 4th house always remains unsatisfied. No matter how much you give him, he remains unsatisfied. The nature of Rahu is to remain unsatisfied. It is difficult to deal with men and women having Rahu in the 4th house. I cannot trust them. They appear to be somebody, and in reality they are something else. And that is indeed the cause of the many miseries that they face in life, because they are never real. They always move around with a mask. Rahu 4th people think of doing algebra, but then they feel to do geometry, but eventually they end up doing chemistry. You see? So if this is how you live your life, if there is absolutely no harmony, no alignment in what you think, what you feel, and what you do, then there is going to be no chance to experience the truth, no chance to experience happiness. Rahu 4 people are generally not the folks who will walk the talk. They will talk a lot, but when it comes to walking, they do an exact U-turn. Remember, 90% of relationships break because of ego. It is a shocking reality that if you are unaware of, then it will be good to be aware of. Relationship cannot happen before the egos are gone. Rahu 4 is a highly egoist person. Emotions feed your ego. Rahu 4, as mentioned earlier, is an emotional person. He gets quickly offended. Ego is too much. Such men are quarrelsome by nature and often goes through multiple relationship breakups, and the most common reason to all their breakups is the big fat ego. Now let us see how Rahu 4 in different signs manifest. Rahu 4 in Aries is a man who is too blunt and aggressive by nature. He may say things impulsively and that way hurt others. Rahu 4 in Taurus is too much attracted towards material possessions, wealth creation, money making, also has a strong indulgence in pleasure seeking activities. Rahu 4 in Gemini, such a person is good in communications and generally lives a life of luxuries. Outside marriage affairs, that is extramarital affairs, are generally found with this position. Such a man gets attracted towards the other woman very easily. Rahu 4 Cancer. When Rahu 4 is in Cancer sign, the person is very emotional, very sensitive and very revengeful. In general, Rahu 4, no matter which sign it is placed in, the revengeful tendencies are very much present in a Rahu 4 person. Rahu 4 in Leo sign. This is the sign of enemy. Remember, Rahu considers Sun as his enemy. And so in an enemy sign, Rahu is very uncomfortable. Such a position brings a lot of jealousy to the native. Such a person is a very jealous person. And such a person is often good at faking things and is not at all a trustworthy person. A woman with this position in general is good at cheating. Extramarital affairs are common for such beings. Rahu 4 in Virgo sign. These are two analytical people because they just like to go on and on and on. They are too much in the head and so it becomes difficult to help them. They often end up distorting the meaning of the words that you speak, leading to many misunderstandings and mishaps. It's not a good position for Rahu. If your girlfriend or boyfriend has this placement, be aware. Rahu 4 in a Libra sign. This is a very good position. At least far better than all the previous 6 zodiac signs. I would rather invite a man or woman with Rahu 4 in Libra sign for a tea party than those with above sign placements. Here in Libra sign, Rahu feels comfortable. Here the negative aspects of Rahu in 4th house can be nullified to a larger extent. Rahu 4 in Scorpio sign. Again, this is not a good sign for Rahu. Here Rahu is very uncomfortable and creates many miseries in life. Remember, Rahu represents the black shade. Everything that is black, that is dark, that is possessive belongs to Rahu. And Mars is all red. Mars is all straight and aggressive. This is a contrast sign for Rahu. Scorpio, the sign of Mars, is a total contrast to Rahu's energy. This is not a good position for Rahu. Rahu in Sagittarius. When Rahu is placed in the 4th house in Sagittarius sign, It is like a drunkard in a temple. You can imagine what is going to happen. The fourth house Sagittarius sign, a temple, gets affected badly. Happiness in life is at stake with this placement. It is not a positive placement. Rahu 4 in a Capricorn sign. This position is like a thief present in the court of justice, where discipline is above all. Rahu in Capricorn sign brings forth the disciplined life. The person with such a placement is too much obsessed with formalities of life. He is a very disciplined person. He likes a disciplined life. It is a good position for a military life. It is a good position for government jobs. Wherever discipline is required, this placement is a positive placement. Such a person moves around like an officer. He is exactly opposite to the idea of living your life by being yourself. A man who loves to live by being himself, who is an individual, who values his individuality, will feel suffocated if he comes across a man with a Rahu 4 in Capricorn sign. Such a man is a tough boss and generally makes the life of his employees a pure hell. Rahu 4 in Aquarius. Yes, this is a perfect home to Rahu. When Rahu is placed in the fourth house in Aquarius sign, Rahu feels home. Rahu is comfortable here, and so most of the negative aspects of Rahu 4 becomes nullified. They fade away, and generally the person is in a better position than the other Rahu placements. Rahu generally in airy signs, that is in Libra, in Aquarius, in Gemini, is in a better position than others. Why? Because Rahu is smoke. Remember this. Rahu has no body. Rahu is smoke. And so a smoky figure will always feel comfortable in airy signs like Libra, like Aquarius, like Gemini. Rahu 4 in Pisces sign. Here the situation is such that a thief is in a kindergarten school. Rahu feels uncomfortable in the sign of Pisces. Here Rahu creates more confusions in life than otherwise. It is not a good placement. Rahu 4, as I have mentioned in many of my answers, is a perfect position to become a victim of black magic, but only if Rahu is alone. In case Rahu is with Shani, then this person is not just a victim of black magic, but also does black magic on others by hiring black magicians. If Rahu is alone, then the case of black magic is limited to being a victim. It means that he himself is suffering from black magic. But the moment Rahu gets a companion in form of tamasic planets like Shani or Mars, then the same person becomes active in seeking a black magician so that he can cast black magic on those men and women whom he disliked or felt jealous of or wants a revenge. Always remember, Maximum cases of black magic are out of revenge, out of jealousy, out of anger, and if the matter is related to sex, then out of lust. Many men with Rahu 4 position, provided they have other weak placements or evil placements, bad placements, they use black magic to attract the woman of their interest. And the woman doesn't understand that why all of a sudden she is getting attracted towards that man whom she never liked at first place. Many such things happen almost all around the world. Such act of black magic to attract a man or a woman is called Vashikaran Kriya. People use black magic to manipulate matters of their life. For example, a man wants a specific woman. He is mad for her, but she is not willing. Then such a man goes to a black magician, asks him to cast a spell so that the woman is attracted towards him. People do all kind of such cheap manipulations and then they later suffer. The Divine Master Neem Karoli Baba shares a beautiful quote. Baba says, "It is very difficult to know exactly what good should come out of a particular situation. It is very difficult. To attempt to manipulate circumstances so that your idea of good can come about is to let the ego play God. And that, as you know, can and does backfire. So when people try to manipulate things, they try to become God and they forget that what they are trying to do is not in their favor. Else God would have offered them, else God would have given them. But God knows, the Holy Father knows what is good for you and what is not good for you. But Rahuish men and women, they want to become God. They want the ego to play God, and so they go to such magicians and try to manipulate certain incidents, try to manipulate their life, and then a time comes when it all backfires. You always have to wait for the right timing. But because you cannot wait, because you are always in rush, you try to manipulate things. Your marriage is not happening. Your sister's marriage is not happening. Your brother's marriage is not happening. You rush to a black magician. You try to do all sorts of things so that you can manipulate the matters of your life. And that is where you go wrong. And I have seen many people who go to all such kind of magicians, and in the end they are totally frustrated because they try to play God, and whenever you try to play God, whenever you try to become God and manipulate the matters of your life, remember, as Neem Karoli Baba says, it will backfire. Whenever Rahu is in the 1st, 4th, 7th or 10th house, the tendency to manipulate things using all possible ways exists within the native. So, it is a very sensitive placement. What is the remedy? That must be your next question. How to overcome the malefic effects of this placement? Remember that the only way to overcome this kind of placement is by becoming more and more detached. Because Rahu in the 4th house makes you more and more attached. The message from the opposite side, that is from Ketu, is that become more and more detached. But your next question is going to be, detached from whom? My answer is detached from your mother, detached from your properties, detached from all the possessions, all the material luxuries. Remember, detachment is not that you should own nothing, but nothing should own you. You can have multiple cars and you can have multiple properties, but those properties and those cars should not own you. If that is the case, if they are owning you, then you remain attached and then you will suffer more because of this Rahu in 4th house. But if you are taking the effort to come out of this attachment, then there is a hope. There is a ray of hope. There is a possibility that in your next life you will be in a much better position. The placement of your Rahu will be in a much better position. This life is a journey. Nobody is perfect. Neither am I, and neither you all. We all are in this journey, and we all should take the effort to make this journey more and more meaningful by focusing on the higher purpose of our life. Enough for today. Meditate.